It wouldn't be a UFC Canada card unless my next guest was on it. Jamey-lyn Horth going to be taking on JJ Aldrich, UFC Winnipeg this Saturday. She's making time on Fight Week. Always appreciate it. Jamie, how you doing?
I'm really good. So far, my body just responds so well. And I think the ability to have a short fight camp relatively is just the stubbornness of me being in training all the time. So I'm super excited to get in there and join the rest of the Team Canada and sort of put on a good show for everyone.
Yeah, there's a lot of Canadians on this card. I do have to ask, though, did you want to get on the Seattle card? It is a little bit shorter for people who don't know, because obviously you're from Vancouver.
Yeah, I mean, coming off of the last fight, we only got a 7-day suspension, so we kind of put it out there, or fingers crossed that maybe we'd get a short notice sort of matchup. But we weren't married to that, and we knew it wasn't going to be a for sure thing. But I mean, if the opportunity was offered to us, we weren't going to say no, and that sort of came and went. And then, we knew they were coming to Vancouver, or to Canada, at some point this year. So here we are. We actually thought at 9-10 weeks out, I was talking with my agent, I wasn't sure I was going to get on this card at all. So he was, typically there's only a couple females on each card. And my sort of fight schedule has been about every 6 months. So we weren't sure what was going to happen. And then 3-4 weeks after we talked with my agent, I get the call and we said, sure, let's do it.
Yeah. Was JJ sort of the only opponent you were offered, or were there any other opponents in the mix?
No, JJ, I mean, really, when you start to look at the 125 division, most of the girls were matched up or had just fought or have fights coming. So, when you start looking at the top, 15, 20 girls, there wasn't a lot of people that hadn't fought in a little while. And my coaches, you're such nerds. They're always looking at things like that. And they kind of already thought JJ for, months before we even got that offer.
And what's it like being a part of this card? I mean, there's a lot of Canadians on here, and a lot of ones you're familiar with, like Jasmine's on this card, like Jamie Siraj, you were just talking about off air, like such a cool thing that he got added on this card last week. And if anyone knows Jamie's backstory, Jeremy Brand, our mutual friend, did a great job kind of documenting everything he's been through. He almost died, and now here he is fighting on Saturday. And I'm going to be talking to Jamie later today, by the way, so I'm really happy about that. But what does it mean to be a part of this card? Because I just feel like compared to other cards, they really went heavy on the Canadian fighters, which is awesome.
I mean, every name you just said and everywhere you look on this card, I have some sort of connection. I was fortunate and got the opportunity to go out to Ontario the end of last year and train alongside Jazz and actually Mike Malott and the team out at NTT there. So it's pretty cool to have, Mike, the main event, and Jazz, coming up on the under part of that, and, have those great relationships. And then as we go down the line, Melissa Croden, and I have been friends and training partners well before we made it to the UFC, or that was even on our radar. So, just super fortunate to be able to share the cage with those women and have Mike headline it. Some people that I've built relationships with, and then, like you were just saying, going down to Jamie Siraj, like what an opportunity for this guy. Somebody that I've looked up to and trained alongside and followed, their career. These guys have been doing martial arts a lot longer than me, and cross training here in the Lower Mainland where we are. I've spent many years, following those guys and them putting me under their wing and helping me out. And, it's a big team. We're Team Canada, and, we all come from different areas, but I'm super excited because the card's just full of us, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, going to be a good card. Let's talk about JJ, 14-7 record. Stylistically, how are you looking at this one?
Yeah, I mean, this is just another southpaw. I mean, it's nothing new to me in that capacity. So, all the fight camps and preps that I've had, preparing for southpaws, a lot of the skills and training sort of just sticks and stays. Her style is a little bit slower on the feet, but very good striking, very straight punches and fast. So, we've just been working sort of, the defensive striking and sort of just like taking space and being annoying. And I have a grindy style, and I'm not afraid to mix it up. So, we've been just hitting it from all angles, and I'm super excited to be able to showcase, a little bit more of who I am and keep climbing the ladder and getting better each fight. And I've kind of already showed that over the last two. So just build off that momentum and just stick to the game plan and see what happens and what she has to offer.
Everything the same for this camp? Anything switched up? What did you get up to as far as how camp's structured and who you got to work with?
I mean, I have such a solid team. it's hard to mix things up too much. You know, sometimes we just have one different token dude that has to take the beatings during fight week or fight camp. And, you know, there's a couple new guys on the roster that have done that. You know, Dion Wu's been sort of the staple over the last few fight camps of being the guy that we beat up. But another young guy named Cameron, he's a guy that trains out of Rebel Fire, is one of Jared's up and coming young guys. He's like 19, 20 years old, wrestler kid, you know, stand southpaw, and you know, he's not afraid to hit us and put it on us. So it's been a really good camp. You know, obviously Rachel Hoffer, Mel's, and then you know, all the girls that I train with anyways, Lupita, obviously, as well, and her sister Anna. It's been awesome. You know what I mean? Like the same. I can't really say that there's been much difference. It's just been, the team.
I was gonna say it worked for you in your last fight. Looked really good there. What about your corner? Same corner for this fight as well?
Ironically, my main guy that does my strength conditioning, he's the one that manhandles all the weight cuts, carries my bags. You know, I call him my security blanket because he's literally sleeps in my room and he wakes up early with me. We go for walks, coffee. You know, honestly, over the last few years, he's been my best friend and support system that way. So it's he's the only guy that's not going to be there this time. Okay. So Casey's going to be able to come.
That's right. Nice.
Yeah. So he's like overly excited. Like, it's so funny because people are always like, "Are you nervous?" And I'm like, I don't have to be nervous. Yeah. He gets nervous and anxious. My sisters get nervous and anxious. Like, they do all that for me. So Casey, Jay, and Jared Revelle.
There you go. The triple. Well, I was going to say double J and then Casey on top of that. So it's
a little JK there, little JK.
And Jared's such a good corner. I know we've mentioned him in other interviews, but it's been such a good transition to coaching in his new gym and everything. It's really cool to see that all come together for him, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Jared's just an OG. And unfortunately, you know, his opportunities just came too late in his career. And you know, another guy that's just been like Dan Kajak, those guys, you know, that have just been such role models to us over through Battlefield and us in BC here. And, you know, it's just really cool for it to be full circle. Jared's got a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. So he's, you know, he knows the weight cuts, he knows how you feel, you know, he could be a good buffer for the coaches and sort of like the class clown in some capacities. Very professional, very smart, knowledgeable, like I said, but light, and just makes fight week fun. Him and Jay and us, we always get up to shenanigans. And I mean, if you follow them on Instagram, you should. If you don't, you should, because they were just in Miami and Jared did a whole Baywatch scene and they had cameras and lights and it was pretty sweet. So super fortunate to have such a solid team and just keep building with them. I mean, you know, why change it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well said. How's this fight playing out on Saturday? How do you see it unfolding?
I think I see it being a little banger, and you know, I think I can capitalize on the opportunities to be longer and land some of my strikes and kicks. And if that's not the way it is, then it'll be something of me on her back.
A win here, that's going to be 4 or 5. That's looking pretty good. Again, you came off a really impressive victory this last one. You go out there and get another finish. Where does that put you in the grand scheme of things, you think?
I mean, that'll be a 3rd win in a row, and I think that'll be my 5th win inside the UFC cage. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 4-2. I have my brain sometimes.
Yeah. No. It's fine. You're weight cutting.
Like
I have a computer in front of me.
No, and it's not even the weight cut part. It's like when someone asked me and Lupe were saunaing like 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about, you know, when you cut your creatine, all these things. I stayed the night with her, and people in the sauna overheard, and they said, "Oh, what do you guys do?" And then we're fighters, so it came out. So everybody in the sauna is asking questions, and they asked what her record was, and she's like, I don't know. Right, It's like when someone asks your phone number, you're like, 1 sec, I don't know. That'll be my 5th win, and JJ's ranked. So, I mean, not that I put any much emphasis on sort of who and what and where I fight, but, you know, a win would move me into the top 15, and I think that's pretty cool. I think that's ultimately what we're here to do, is to entertain and to, you know, keep climbing that ladder and one step at a time. So, a win will be 3 in a row for me. So that'll be awesome, and position in the top 15, hopefully.
We mentioned the Seattle card and how, you know, it would have been cool to see you on there. Obviously great you're on this one, but one of the big highlights from that card was in your division, Alexa Grasso finishing Maycee Barber. What did you think of that? That's one of the most incredible finishes I've ever seen in MMA. I was cage side for it, but it was pretty nuts the way Grasso knocked her down and then went quickly to the submission. I haven't seen anything like that before.
Yeah, I mean, just like Grasso striking obviously is, something everybody knows is great. I mean, I spent some time down there at Lobo, so striking and boxing for them, Mexico is a huge thing, and definitely not underrated. But I felt like her jumping on the back, that was like it was in fast forward. It was insane. But I feel like she's done a really good job at sort of, just focusing on getting better. And I think she's spent a lot of time living down in Vegas and just changing things up. And I think that, that's been awesome for her mental game and mindset, and just cross training in that capacity. But I mean, she capitalized on Shevchenko's back too. So, she's pretty quick, and she's getting better, and I wish her all the best. And that was, a pretty crazy finish. I think that we'll talk about for a long time.
Well, I think too, there's kind of that thought that can she get the belt back? I mean, I know she had a couple setbacks after that. She lost to Natalia Silva and then obviously lost the belt to Valentina. But I think a lot of people after seeing that, they're like, okay, she's still in the top here. Like, do you think she can win the belt back?
Yeah, I mean, she's got the mental capacity for it. She seems to be super gung ho, and like most fighters, like you start to see your weaknesses and you start to build off of those and find other ways to game plan and prepare for, fighting that person again and again. And, you kind of see it back with Ronda Rousey, and that's something that I don't think they did a very good job at, as, her building her striking back up. And she obviously has great judo and grappling. But I think with Alexa, I think she's keen to learn and evolve. And I think that, there's definitely a good chance that she could climb back up and be a title contender again.
And just, you mentioned it there. I was going to ask you about that. What do you make of this Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano fight? Like, how surprised were you? I think a lot of us, even for me, I was like, wow, they're making this fight all these years later.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really put a lot of thought into it, and I haven't really gone down the rabbit hole of that in the social media aspects of it, but it definitely is crazy. I mean, to have such a big layoff and come back and fight MMA again, it's pretty wild, and then obviously with social media, you see her hitting pads and all these clips, and you're just like, oh, okay, what are we doing here? But I mean, I think as a fan to martial arts, and obviously, props to Ronda, being a pioneer for women's MMA, it's definitely a fight that everyone's going to want to watch. You want to see how it plays out. And I wish her nothing but the best. Obviously pretty cool to come back and see what she can do and all this time off.
Are you going to be watching it?
Yeah, of course I want to see what happens.
Yeah, no, me too. I'll watch, and it's on Netflix, right? So it's easy to just log into your account and watch the event. If it was a pay-per-view or something, maybe not, but the novelty
if somebody was putting it
okay.
on, I would drive to their house and watch it. I wouldn't necessarily buy it myself.
Yeah,
but if someone's putting it on and it's available to me, we're gonna most likely stream and watch it.
Yeah, and you got to watch UFC Winnipeg this weekend, April 18th. It's going to be a good one. Jamey, thanks for doing this, especially during fight week. Anyone you want to thank? I know you got a lot of sponsors. You got a lot of things outside the cage. I'll give you the floor here.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to thank, obviously, for first and foremost, my team, people that have put their body on the line for me, my training partners at The Sound, at Universal, at Rebel Fire, at WKX. We're a team, but we're widespread. And obviously, the town and my community here at Squamish, BC, my family, my friends, and my big sponsor and longtime family friend, the Lactons and the team there at Alta Lake Electric, Sean and all those guys for backing me and supporting me. And a bunch of them were making the trip out to this fight. So I'm coming to Winnipeg with baggage. And I never have any problems talking to you during fight week, man. Fight week